So Fulbright application का process क्या है? Fulbright is actually what? Is it a scholarship? Is it just like a paid master's or PhD program? Fulbright के लिए apply कैसे करते हैं? Fulbright के applications के लिए आपको क्या क्या चीज़ें चाहिए? So all of these questions, I get a lot of these queries on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and I actually like it that I'm helping people out. But I know I cannot possibly review all the personal statements and all the applications. So I wanted to make like a very nice summarized video with the overall process, the critical and important aspects of the application, plus pros and cons of Fulbright, जो I think आपको clearly पता होने चाहिए before your application. So yes, before we dive deeper into this, my name is Anam Saeed. I'm an economist. I did my master's in econometrics as a Fulbright scholar. My husband is also a Fulbrighter, so we're like a mini Fulbright family. Let's start with the Fulbright application process, right? So recently it was advertised. The deadline for application is, I think, 28th February 2024. Usually it's around April, but this time around they have actually preponed it. So yes, you better start working on your personal statement now. Now, what are the critical aspects of your application, right? And a lot of people keep asking me कि हमने GRE दे दिया, what sort of a score do we need in GRE? There is a basic score जो आपकी eligibility determine करता है, that is I think around 145 in verbal and quant. So a total of 290 is the bare minimum to qualify for Fulbright, right? उसके ऊपर कोई ऐसा स्कोर नहीं है जो मैं आपको कह सकूं कि हाँ 320 होगा तो आपका एडमिशन हो जाएगा, 310 होगा तो नहीं होगा. उसके ऊपर जितना अच्छा आप कर सकते हैं उतना आप अपनी तरफ से मैक्सिमम ट्राई करें. एंड टू गेट इनटू अ डिसेंट यूनिवर्सिटी, उसके लिए सबसे इजी टिप ये है कि आप जिस यूनिवर्सिटी जाना चाहते हैं उस यूनिवर्सिटी की क्लास प्रोफाइल जाके देख लें ऑनलाइन, एंड दे विल गिव यू एन एवरेज GRE स्कोर फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रोग्राम, और आप उसको टारगेट करके उसको एम करके एप्लीकेशन करें. बट अगर आपका स्कोर कोई +-5 होता भी है, देन स्टिल गो अहेड विद योर एप्लीकेशन फॉर Fulbright, बिकॉज Fulbright में देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ अदर क्रिटिकल एलिमेंट्स एज वेल अपार्ट फ्रॉम योर GRE which determine your selection in the program. So next, the most critical element after you start your application process and for your selection is your personal statement. So there are two sort of statements, and I will make a separate video on personal statement and research objective because it's that important. But your personal statement basically reflects your journey and why you are so suitable for Fulbright program. So Fulbright is looking for people who are like cultural ambassadors. So you have to show that you're an all-rounder, you have developed your personality, you have different skill set, you're not just pursuing your research, but you're also doing other things, or you're not just in your career but you're also indulged in other activities. So that's a very critical element, and you need to like make sure कि आपकी personal statement बहुत crisp हो, बहुत solid हो, it tells your story. Right, next you need 3 letters of recommendation. 3 letters of recommendations should be coming from people who actually know you, so they can actually write about you, and not just superficial templates of recommendations should be submitted, because they should correlate with your personal statement. So that's it for the application. After that, if you get selected, you will be called and hopefully for an interview in September. They will ask you for a 1-minute video of introduction. Again, it should be very correlated with your personal statement. I will talk about it in a separate video that I'll make about the personal statement. Then in the interview, again, you have to make sure that you show your conviction. And if you get selected, you'll get a letter by Fulbright by November telling you that you've been selected, and in the coming year, March or April, you will probably hear back from universities. Now, what are the pros and cons of Fulbright, right? And this is very important because a lot of people apply for Fulbright, but they actually don't know what they're getting into. So pros तो बहुत ज़्यादा है. Fulbright में आपको इतना exposure मिलता है. Fulbright is not just a master's program or a PhD program. Fulbright is like a full-fledged program designed to give you a lot of exposure, right? Fulbright is basically going to give you a wholesome exposure by making you meet people from all across the globe. You will be participating in a lot of seminars, workshops, demonstrating your skills as a cultural ambassadors. आप सिर्फ खाने पीने, हॉलीडेज और घूमने फिरने के लिए नहीं जाएंगे, आप वर्कशॉप्स में भी पार्ट लेंगे. Fulbright आपको सेमिनार्स में भी भेजेगा. I participated in the SAS Global Conference. I presented my paper. It was fully sponsored by Fulbright. So you get to choose, and you get to actually showcase your work as a professional, as an academic professional, as a career-driven professional. So Fulbright has a lot of pros that way. Plus you get your stipend. Stipend is good enough for one person to live a very reasonable life, and also travel, and also enjoy US to the maximum. So Fulbright gives you all of this, plus a very comfortable setting जिसमें आपको एक particular amount मिलती है to get a laptop, and you also get like a very wholesome Fulbright community in most of the bigger universities जो आपको support करते हैं, जो आपकी residence ढूंढने में, आपको यहाँ settle in होने में, हर चीज़ में आपको support करते हैं. Now, what are the cons of Fulbright? And I think this is the biggest con. You have to go back to Pakistan for 2 years. आपने अगर Fulbright का bond sign किया है, आप Fulbright की scholarship पे आए हैं, आपको पाकिस्तान जाना पड़ेगा, right? That is the most important thing that Fulbright is asking you for. You have to go and serve your country for at least 2 years. So यहाँ पे मैं बहुत से लोगों को देखती हूँ वो Fulbright पे आ जाते हैं. मैंने अपने Fulbright scholarship में भी देखा, अपने husband के उसमें भी देखा कि आके फिर they start like thinking कि oh shit, अब now we have to go back. Is there a way out? They're traumatized. So you should be prepared for this before going. You should know that you have to go and serve your country for 2 years and you should accept it and only then pursue Fulbright. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that, there are many other scholarships जिसपे आप अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. बहुत से फंडिंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं. अगर आपको एज ए टीए और आरए कहीं सिलेक्ट कर लिया जाए तो आपकी ट्यूशन फी भी काफी हद तक माफ हो जाती है in public universities in the US. So there are other ways. There are ways where you can actually fund your graduate degree. So think about that. Be sure that you want to go back to Pakistan and serve your country for 2 years and then apply for Fulbright. Okay, and the second biggest con is that आपने कुछ यूनिवर्सिटी सेलेक्ट की होती है. फॉर इंस्टेंस मैंने 3 यूनिवर्सिटी सेलेक्ट की. फुलब्राइट आपके बिहाफ पे वहाँ अप्लाई करता है once you've been selected. अब उन यूनिवर्सिटीज में से आपका फॉर इंस्टेंस तीनों में हो जाता है. सो इन माई केस आई गॉट इनटू 2 यूनिवर्सिटीज एंड देयर वाज वन पर्टिकुलर यूनिवर्सिटी दैट आई वांटेड टू परस्यू, बट उसका आई डोंट नो उसका फाइनेंशियल एस्पेक्ट था. इट वाज मच हायर इन टर्म्स ऑफ इट्स फाइनेंशियल कॉस्ट्स. Or, you know, maybe there were some other aspects. The living in that city was very expensive. It was in New York City. Fulbright chose me to go to Texas. And I wanted to pursue it otherwise, but you cannot have it your way. It's another con of Fulbright. Fulbright आपके behalf पे decision लेगा. They're the decision makers. You cannot challenge that. So these are some things that you have to keep in mind before submitting your application. So I wish you best of luck and feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or YouTube or Instagram. And I hope this video helps somebody out. Take care and subscribe if you like. Allah.